quart of lemon juice. How many lemons is a quart of lemon juice? Can't remember where I put them. It's gotta be in here somewhere. Lemons. Eggplant. How much? Alexa, how many lemons are in 1 cup of lemon juice?
1 cup of lemon juice is equivalent to about 5 1/4 to 8 medium lemons.
Let's see how this works. 5, about 5, it means I need 20 lemons for a quart. Okay, so that's 8, 9, 10. Oh, I actually almost have, I have 20 lemons it looks like. Alright, well this is like the most simple recipe that anybody ever made. A cup of sugar. So we're going to add some water to that. Okay, not much water. About 1/4 of a cup. Just to dissolve this sugar. We're just going to heat that until it dissolves. Simple syrup would be equal amounts of sugar and water. This is a much more concentrated syrup. So you put this over medium to low heat. You don't want it to burn. You know, you just want to introduce enough heat that the sugar is encouraged to dissolve in the water, and it doesn't actually take much. 1/4 of a cup is plenty of water to make a syrup with a cup of sugar. Okay, a quart is 4 cups, which means this is too small. This is not too small. So we will use this. Sit a strainer into there. Eventually we'll have too much juice in there for the strainer, but for now that's good. After the sugar dissolves, I'm going to give it a chance to cool down. I don't really want this thing boiling. I just wanted it to, dissolve. Once it's come up to a high enough temperature, you can see that it really starts to dissolve as you mix it. It's the mixing that's really encouraging it to dissolve. It's got enough heat in there. You don't want to boil it. And just let it do its thing without you cooking the thing. I'm not super confident I'm going to get quart out of this size lemon. They're tiny. On the bright side, it's going to be easy to squeeze them. On the not so bright side, that's less lemon juice. But you know what? We'll adjust the water that we add. Well, we'll adjust the syrup that we add. Obviously, you want a sharp knife. Something else that's really helpful, a lemon squeezer. Let's take one of the larger ones to start. I just cut the ends off because they're no good. Then, cut the thing in half. Put up your lemon squeezer. Pop the lemon right in there with the flat side down because you're going to try to invert this thing. And get your vessel out here. Squeeze it over your strainer. Use 2 hands if you need to. Here's something I notice when I squeeze lemons. The rind of the lemon kind of folds over. So here's something that I found makes it a lot more productive when you squeeze lemons. You kind of score it like that. You kind of free this skin to come apart. So it actually comes apart a little bit more efficiently. I'm getting just a little bit more juice out of it when I do that. If you're enjoying this video so far, why don't you leave a comment about your favorite lemonade? What's your favorite lemonade recipe? Lemon 11. So some people, when they juice a citrus fruit, I have heard that they will roll the fruit like this. And I'm assuming they're trying to soften up, you know, the inside of it and make it easier to squeeze. I'll do that with this one and see what happens. But you know what? This is a laborious process, or it's just kind of boring to do 20 of these lemons, and I'm not sure I want to make it take any longer than it has to. But you know, to be fair, I was doing this as well. So this actually, so I must have disrupted the lemon inside a little bit, because it definitely looked more juicy when I cut it open. I don't know, maybe there's something to that rolling thing. You decide. You try it for yourself and decide. Alright. Let's look for... We got pulp in there. And we got seeds. And to be honest, we didn't get a lot of seeds falling through the squeezer. So I'm going to fish some of these out, but I'm going to dump this pulp into the lemonade. Let's be honest, this is supposed to be all natural lemonade. You're going to get some pulp and seeds in it. And you know what? Deal with it. You're drinking one of the best things you can drink. And this looks like we got 3 cups, not 4 cups. So that's 3/4 of the lemon juice that we expected. So just because we didn't get enough juice, or as much juice as we expected out of the lemons, doesn't mean we are going to give up on our recipe. So that means that we are going to use, instead of what would have been a cup of simple syrup, or a cup of sugar and 2 cups of corn syrup, we're going to reduce the corn syrup to 3/4 of the, well, we're going to reduce the sugar to 3/4 of what we expect to be using. So that's 3 cups. So what is 3/4 of 3 cups? I'm going to leave that to you as a math problem. I'm going to work it out, but you figure it out. So I'm really leery of putting too much liquid. I'm sorry, putting too much sugar into this recipe. So I'm going to make sure that all of our simple syrup mixture, I'm going to mix it with the corn syrup because it's hot, or it's warm. This will cool it down, but at the same time it'll warm up the hero syrup, which means it will flow easier out of this container. It is really thick. That's a quart. So the lemon juice will come up to here, and then concentrate will come up to over there. It's kind of thick. I hope I can get this out of this container. Oh, it's really thick. There will be lemonade very soon. Use the lemon juice to rinse out the sugar mixture. Alright, well that juice and that sugar is not going to want to mix of its own accord, so we're going to give it a shake here. So in order to help it mix a little, put a few ice cubes in there. Okay, so here's how you do this. You keep this in your refrigerator for emergencies. No, not for emergencies, for drinking. And then you get your favorite glass, whatever that is, one of my favorite glasses, and then put a hefty amount of ice in that glass. That looks good. And then you're going to pour, you want a good amount of ice because you want this to be cold. So you're going to pour about a 1/4 cup of this, so just make sure you shake before you do that. I'm just going to give it one last quick shake before you open the thing. Just shake it because it will settle, and you definitely want to make sure you're getting a good mix. You can measure a 1/4 cup, or you can just eyeball it. I'm going to eyeball it. Okay, That's like a quarter cup. I know that doesn't look like much, but now what you're going to do is you're going to fill it to the top with the water. Okay. Now you can see that it's not evenly distributed, so get yourself a spoon, give it a quick stir from the bottom. Maybe push that ice down. This also gives it a chance to cool off a little bit. And then off camera, take a sip. That's perfect. It's actually a little bit tart, so it could have done with a little bit more sugar. Here's the great thing. If I decide I actually do want it to be a little bit sweeter, I can adjust that right now. So it's better to go a little bit under than it is to go over. So it looks like our original estimate would have been fine. I hope you enjoy this recipe.